Hi, I'm Melanie, Community Relations Director from Amica Unionville, and my co-host is Anthony, Community Relations Director from Amica Aspen Woods. We'd like to welcome you to our fourth national virtual event, Sleep, Stress, and Self-Care. We have over 200 attendees today. As we have such a large group, we have turned off your sound and video. Please note, due to COVID-19, we have asked our speakers to present from the safety of their own home or office using their webcam. You may hear pets, children, or other noises in the background that are outside of our speakers' control. We ask for your understanding and your patience. Following the presentations today, my colleague Anthony will ask our experts a few questions that were sent in ahead of time. It is my pleasure to introduce our first presenter today. She is one of our Amica's very own, from Amica White Rock Life Enrichment Coordinator, Gabriela Otoya. Gabriela completed her 200-hour yoga teacher training in Whistler, BC in 2014. Since then, Gabriela has taught at a variety of studios in the Lower Mainland and works with the Burnaby Neighborhood House, leading talks about self-care through meditation and mindfulness. She has worked with Life Enrichment and seniors for the last 3 years and does weekly chair yoga classes where she loves to focus on mindfulness and meditation. She's excited to be with all of you today to guide you through a relaxing meditation and to share tips on how to meditate on your own. Afterwards, we'll have a brief question and answer period with our distinguished panel. My warmest welcomes, Gabriela.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm going to be leading you through a guided meditation on the chakras. So for those of you who do not know, chakras are just a different area in the body. So it's a way in yoga where we highlight different areas in the entire body. So you can think of it as a guided meditation on the body. This approach of meditation is good because it helps narrow down your focus to one thing, and it can reduce distractions. I hope you all enjoy. Make sure you are comfortable and relaxed, and let's begin. Allow your eyes to comfortably close and begin to become aware of your breath. Notice the inhale followed by the exhale. Deep breaths in. Notice as you inhale, your lungs expand and your chest rises. And on the exhale, let all the air go, relaxing the body entirely. Again, deep breath in, taking in as much air as you can, and then let the air go, calming the body completely. Again, deep breath in, all the air you can, and releasing the air away nice and slow. During this meditation, you may notice your mind getting distracted. And if that happens, that's okay. Just let that thought go and return back to the breath, the present moment, right here, right now. And recognize that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Begin to bring awareness into your body, relaxing your belly, softening your mind, allowing your mind to empty what it no longer needs to hold on to. Let it go. Let it flow out and away. Feel the support beneath you. Connect with the ground below you. Let gravity take over and allow the seat to take your weight completely. Relieving any stress or tension that you may be holding in your body. Right now is your opportunity to completely let it go with every exhale that you make. Become aware of the sounds around you. Let them be there and notice the soft touch of the air against your skin, scanning the body. Begin to sense the space around you. Breathe with the space and become aware of the rise and fall of your breath. It's coming and going. The sensation, the sound, the temperature in your room. Draw yourself back from where you've been in your day. Draw your energies back home to your center. Ground yourself in this moment, right here. Begin to breathe down to where your weight of your body rests, below the base of your spine, to your root, your chakra of belonging. Breathe into your root. Let it soften and gently expand on your breath, taking in nourishment and energy. Allow your root to connect down to the ground below, deep into the earth. And invite in the color red, the color of the earth. Bathe your root with red, empowering, embodying, grounding you in the here and now. Let your root take what it needs and say the words in your head. I am here. I have a right to be here as I am. The earth supports me. Stay here for a little bit longer, imagining the color red radiating at the very base of your spine, bringing all of your attention to this one spot in your body and letting your mind be completely clear with any other thoughts that may be trickling in. When you are ready, allow your awareness to move up to your belly, just below your navel, your chakra of emotional intelligence, choice, creativity, movement, and pleasure. Breathe into this area. Let it gently soften and expand on your breath, taking in nourishment and energy here. And invite in the color orange, the color of the setting sun. Bathe the area below your navel with orange, balancing, empowering, motivating. Let this chakra be fed and say in the words in your head, I honor my needs. I allow myself to be nourished. Stay here for a little bit longer. Allow the color of orange to radiate in this space, bringing all of your attention to your lower belly here, just below your navel, and imagine that whole space be shining with orange. When you are ready, begin to move your awareness up to the soft area below your breastbone, just beneath your chest, to your solar plexus, as they say in yoga, your chakra of personal power. Breathe into here, allowing this area to soften and expand on your breath. Staying here for a little bit longer, and invite in the color yellow. Imagine the color yellow radiating in this space, the color of sunshine. Bathe in your solar plexus with sunshine, replenishing, restoring, nurturing, letting it take what it needs, and say the words in your head, I value myself. I am enough. I am more than enough. I am worth my weight in gold. When you are ready, bring your awareness up to the center of your chest, to your heart, your chakra of self-development and unconditional love. Gently breathe into your heart, letting it soften and expand on your breath, and invite in the color green, the color of spring. Staying here, imagining that space radiating with the color green. Feeling that sensation, bringing all of your attention to this one area in your body and not letting your mind get distracted with anything in the past or anything in the future. Bathe your heart center with nourishment, renewal, healing. Let your heart take what it needs and say the words in your head, I am greatly loved. I allow myself to give and receive love freely. I am nourished by the power of love. Begin to move up to your neck now, to your throat, your chakra of self-expression and personal will. Allow your throat center to soften, expand, and breathe here. Remembering to bring all of your attention to this one area in your body and scan the throat, noticing how it feels, noticing any sensations as you swallow. Begin to invite the color blue, the color of the sky. Breathe sky into your throat center, clearing, opening, softening the need for control. Freeing self-expression and creativity in this space. Let your throat take what it needs and say the words in your head. I hear and speak my truth. I express myself freely. I allow myself to go with the flow of life. Stay here for a little bit longer. Imagine your throat lighting up with the light color of blue all the way around your throat. Your throat is radiating blue. Remembering to bring all of your awareness to this one space. When you are ready, take your focus up to your forehead now. The area right in between your eyes, right up in between your eyebrows, to your third eye, your chakra of wisdom and intuition. Gently allowing this space to soften, releasing any tension that you may be holding in your forehead. Let it relax and breathe. Inviting in indigo, the velvety color of night sky. Bathe your third eye with indigo, soothing, balancing, bringing clarity, insight, and understanding into this space. Let your third eye take what it needs, and softly in your head say the words, everything is unfolding as it should. Staying here for a little bit longer, allowing that bright color of indigo to radiate all across your forehead. When you are ready, begin to move up to the top of your head, to your crown, your chakra of oneness, allowing your crown to breathe. Gently invite in a light violet, softly bathing your crown with that color, radiating in violet. And allow yourself here to be balanced, restoring and harmonizing. Let your crown take what it needs and say the words in your head. I am one with the universe. I am one with the whole. Spending a little bit more time here, right on the top of your head, bringing all of your attention to this one spot, recognizing that you are completely present right here, right now. Taking a deep breath in, still keeping your focus on the top of your head, and exhale to release the air away and calming the body completely. Gently invite in a light violet, softly bathing your crown for a little bit longer. When you are ready, come back to yourself as a whole, keeping your eyes closed and keeping that sense of relaxation within you. From here, scan your body completely and imagine yourself as if you're stepping away and you're looking at your body and scanning from head to toe. Breathing deeply here, breathe into your core and say the words in your head, I am whole. I am perfect just as I am. Allow the energy of the words to bathe your body, mind, emotions, spirit, and take what you need. In your own time, become aware of the air on the surface of your body the sounds around you, near and in the distance. Close your chakras down a little. Just having the intention is enough. Become aware of the support beneath you. Notice how you feel. And hold yourself with loving kindness for the beautiful, unique being that you are. When you are ready, gently open your eyes and thank yourself for taking some time out of your busy day to spend on you and giving yourself time to slow things down and clear your mind a little. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.
That was wonderful. I feel so relaxed, Gabby. Thank you. I'm Anthony, one of the Community Relations Directors at Amica Aspen Woods in Calgary. I'm very pleased to introduce our second expert today. Dr. Carrier is a professor in psychology at the University of Montreal and fellow of the Canadian Academy of Health Sciences. She is the scientific director of the Canadian Sleep and Circadian Network and the Canadian Health Campaign, Sleep On It. Her work identified key mechanisms underlying age-related changes in the sleep-wake cycle and their functional consequences on physical and cognitive health in normal and pathological aging. She has published over 165 scientific articles and makes numerous presentations to the international scientific community. In today's presentation, Dr. Carrier will address: why is sleep important for your physical and cognitive health? Will my sleep change with age? Is it okay to nap? What factors may contribute to sleep difficulties? What are the recommendations to sleep soundly as we get older? A sincere welcome from everyone here, Dr. Carrier.
Thank you, Anthony, for this wonderful introduction. So I will just after this wonderful session with Gabriela, I will be talking about sleep, and what you learn with Gabriela actually will be definitely helpful also for your sleep. So tonight I wanted to discuss my one of my biggest passion in life, not the only one, but one of them, which is sleep. And I want to show you and to discuss with you that sleep is really your ally during the COVID-19 crisis. And we will talk about sleep in ways that you may enhance maybe your sleep quality. So since the beginning of the crisis, you have been facing plenty of challenges due to social and family isolation. You may feel stressed about contracting the virus and becoming seriously ill. So it's normal that since the beginning of the crisis, you feel more stressed. Maybe you have more worries, fear, and even maybe you feel some depressive state. It's also quite possible that your sleep may be disturbed, which is completely normal in times of great stress. I always say that we don't sleep in front of a lion. So stress is very sensitive to your state of mind. And so the first message is that do not worry too much about your sleep, but I will try to show you how you may try to enhance its quality. So first of all, I wanted to say that sleep complaints are a major health problems in older individuals. Surveys have shown that more than 40% of the older individuals report having sleep problems a few nights per week or even more. The prevalence of people who present with problems initiating sleep or to stay asleep doubles between the age of 20 years and the age of 65 and more. And there are plenty of reasons why sleep is changing with increasing age. Aging is associated with more medication use, and some of this medication may have side effects. So you should maybe talking to your healthcare provider in order to see if your medication could have some side effects on your vigilance states. Of course, health problems such as pain, discomfort may also decrease the quality of your sleep. And you have also, with increasing age, an increase in specific sleep disorders. For instance, sleep apnea disorder is highly increasing with increasing age, actually. But I can also tell you that your sleep, even if you have no medical, no psychological changes with aging, even if you are perfectly in health, sleep changes since the day you are born up to the years that you are in now. So this is exactly the message that I want to give you with this slide, is that since you are born, your sleep have changed. And so it's totally normal also that your sleep is not the same that it was when you were 20 or 30 years old. What we know about sleep in the older individuals is, one, I already told you, sleep and vigilance complaints are more common. We also have a tendency to go to sleep and to wake up a little bit earlier as we get older. And this is because our biological clock is providing an earlier signal for your sleep episode. Nighttime sleep episodes are often of shorter duration. Napping is more frequent in older individuals compared to the young ones. And if you measure sleep with electrodes and that you are able to look at the content of sleep, what is going on when you get older is that you have less slow wave sleep or deep sleep, as we call, and the name is a really good name for this stage of sleep because it means that you are in the deepest, more profound stages of sleep, but you have way less of this sleep stage as you get older, and you have more lighter sleep stage. Your sleep is also more fragmented, so you have more awakenings, especially towards the end of the sleep episodes, and you may have also more complaints or more difficulty to adapt to what we call atypical sleep schedules, such as shift work for those who are still working, or jet lag, when your biological clock needs to adapt to a new time. Those changes occurs in everybody and they are normal. So we need at one point in time to accept those changes and to not worry too much about them. But I would say that the most characteristic of sleep with getting older is that the sleep-wake cycles becomes more fragile with age, which means that your sleep is more easily disturbed by outside elements or unusual situations. So I always take the example of a 3-year-old child that is sleeping on the floor during the Christmas party, for instance. Try to do that when you are 50 years old or even older. I mean, it's very difficult. And the reason is because your sleep is less intense, as I told you before. So your sleep is less deep and will be less able to override all those stimulation around you externally, like noise, or internally, like stress, for instance. So that means that it's normal that your sleep change, but that you will have, as for many other aspects of your life, you will need to take even more care of your sleep. So you will need to be more careful and to make sure that you are providing yourself with the right condition in order to have a sleep of quality. Why is my passion sleep? Is because sleep plays crucial roles in plenty of functions. Actually, I know more physiological or cognitive function that sleep influence positively that I know physiological or psychological functions that sleep doesn't affect. So good sleep will help you to feel more alert, have better cognitive skills. So it may improve your memory, enhance your attention, and will help you to take better decisions. Sleep also contributes to the regulation of your emotions, which are key elements to adapt to challenging situations. So to enhance your mood, sleep increases also your anxiety. Sleep also plays a crucial role for your physical health. So sleep, we know now, and the research have shown that multiple times, that sleep increase the strength of your immune system. So you will be more able to fight against external virus or bacteria. It's also helping your cardiovascular functions. Sleep controls also your hormonal regulations. For instance, a lack of sleep will increase stress hormones such as cortisol. So if you are already stressed out, you already have an increase in hormones associated with stress, as for instance, cortisol. And the sleep deprivation, because you are stressed, will also increase this secretion of stress hormone. Sleep also have a good impact on your glucose regulation and very importantly on your brain health. So new studies have shown that the lack of sleep and too much lack of sleep may also increase, for instance, some of the proteins associated with pathological aging. So now that I have shown you that sleep is highly important, how can we, during this challenging time, not necessarily sleep as well as we were before the crisis, but at least how can I provide myself with the best condition in order to be able to have the best sleep that I can have? So the first recommendation, so it's 7 recommendation with an S. I just realized that I didn't put the S, so excuse my French, I would say. The first recommendation is to make sleep your best ally. So first of all, in the elderly, the recommendation of duration of sleep is 7 to 8 hours of sleep per day, including naps. That means that some people may need a little bit less than 7 hours and others will need a little bit more than 8 hours. So there are individual differences, but I would say that for 80% of the population, in the older individuals, everybody will need around 7 to 8 hours for 80% of the population. I will say that even if sleep is very important, we should not spend too much time in bed. So you should spend the time in bed should be for sleeping. So if you need 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you should be in bed 7 to 8 hours. We try to prevent being in bed for a long period of times if you are not asleep. And I may explain later why. If you are not able to fall asleep and go back to sleep in about 30 minutes, it's suggested to not stay in bed. We suggest you to get up, get out of your room and do some relaxing activities until your eyelids feels heavy, a sign that it's time for you to go back to bed again. And if you go back to bed again and then your anxiety comes back and then you cannot fall again asleep in 30 minutes, then we recommend that you get out of bed again, go do something relaxing, not too exciting. And when you feel that you are being somnolent or that you want to feel that now it's time to go to bed again, then you go to bed and try to fall asleep. So the key message here is don't stay in bed if you are having difficulty falling asleep. You should not be associated with your bed with the fact that you are not able to fall asleep. The second advice is to cultivate social ties with the outside world. Of course, it's more challenging these days with the crisis. But still, plenty of studies have shown that the more social contacts that you have, the more the easier it is for you also to handle stress and anxiety, and the better your sleep will be. One thing that we often forget, I wrote, brighten up your days. We forget and we take light for granted, but light has a very potent effect on your brain. Light directly stimulates your mood, your vigilance, and light is also the time cue for your biological clock in your brain to provide the right signal for a good night of sleep at the right time. So especially in the older population, because of plenty of changes in the eyes, etc., the light signal may be having more difficulty to go through your brain. So even if you cannot go outside, you don't need to have the natural light. It's even better if you can go outside too. But even the light inside is important. So turn on the lights in order during the day, of course, in order to provide your brain a very strong light signal during the day. Of course, you will say that the fourth recommendation is that you knew already about it, and that's possible. So of course, caffeine, we know that it may prevent you of falling asleep and may induce some wake during your sleep episode. What people less know is that caffeine also decreases the amount of your deep sleep. You know, when I told you at the beginning that when we get older, we have less of this deep sleep. But if you take caffeine, even caffeine in the morning may decrease actually the amount of deep sleep that you have during your sleep. So not only you may be more inclined to wake up during the night, but also you will decrease the intensity of your sleep. And of course, if you decrease the intensity of your sleep, then the next morning you will feel like having a big coffee in order to feel more alert. So this is kind of a vicious circle. The other thing that is really tricky is alcohol. So many people, because alcohol, a glass of wine, a glass of beer may help us to handle our stress because it relaxes. And it's true that alcohol may decrease actually the time it takes you to fall asleep. And so this is why many people are using it to fall asleep. The tricky thing about alcohol is that even though you fall asleep more easily, the metabolisms of alcohol makes you wake up. So, and it changes all your sleep stages, which means that you may fall asleep rapidly, but the quality of your sleep will not be there. So you will have changes in sleep stages and you have more chances of waking up. The other and the fifth recommendation is get moving. I mean, especially in the older population, studies have shown that not only moving, so exercising doesn't need to be that intense. Walking slowly, be active is very important. It will decrease the amount of wakefulness that you have during the night. And it will also increase this time the amount of slow wave sleep, so the deepest sleep changes. Of course, the sixth recommendation is to try to reduce stress and worries as much as possible before bedtime. So Gabriela have shown you how to meditate. Meditation could be very good in the evening in order to calm yourself down and to connect with the world. Relaxation is good. It could be anything that will provide you some pleasure, but calming pleasure. It could be herbal tea, reading, music. I play Scrabble on my tablet because for me it's an activity that is relaxing and taking my concern and worries of the day outside, because I need to be a little bit concentrated to try to find the right word, but it's not too exciting either. So I do that to reduce the stress and worries before bedtime. And the thing that sometimes we forget is it's important to create the ideal environment for sleep. So Of course, your bedroom should be a quiet room, dark with the optimal room temperature for you. And as I told you, it's important that your room be devoted only for sleep and intimacy. So it's not the place to do too much activity working, or a place to be awake and trying to fall asleep. And finally, for those who are sharing a bed or a bedroom with others, if possible, don't hesitate to sleep in another bed in your house in order to protect your sleep of your life partner if one of you have a sleep problem. For instance, if your partner is snoring very much, or if your partner suffers from insomnia and moving a lot, not following my advice and moving a lot in the bed, all those things will be disturbing for your own sleep. So you should try to protect your sleep. And I want to finish by saying that this is a very short introduction on sleep. And last fall, actually, all the sleep researchers in Canada, as well as the clinicians, we decided to launch a Canadian public health campaign on sleep, because we know that 25% of the population suffers from a sleep disorder. And also that for many of people, they don't understand how sleep is important for health. So we want to educate also, and we want to say to everyone that sleep is important. So if you want to learn more about sleep, I invite you to go on our website, which is www.sleeponitcanada.ca, and you will find plenty of scientific valid information about sleep at all the age. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Carrier. It's such a pleasure learning from people who are so passionate. Dr. Carrier and Gabby, we have a few questions that were sent in ahead of time by some of our participants. For everyone else watching, if you missed the opportunity to send in your question, feel free to use the question box on your screen, and we'll do our best to answer a few if we have time. Question number 1, Dawn from Victoria writes, is it okay to nap during the day?
So this is a very good question. So I would say that for most of you, it's perfectly fine to nap. Napping can be a pleasure. Napping can increase the amount of sleep that you get in a day. The only people that I will not recommend to nap are the people that are complaining about their sleep. So if you have difficulty to fall asleep, or if you wake up too often to your taste during the night, I will certainly recommend that you don't nap, because if you nap during the day, that will decrease the sleep pressure before you go to sleep. So when we go to sleep, we need to have a certain amount of wakefulness accumulated. And when you nap, you decrease this drive for sleep. So if you suffer from insomnia, I will recommend that you don't nap, but for all the other people, please let yourself go.
Awesome. Dr. Carrier, would you be able to stop sharing your screen with us?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
No, not sorry at all. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Number 2, no, not at all. Thank you. Henry from Stony Creek asks, Gabby, how can I find time to meditate in my busy schedule?
Well, meditation can really be as long as you want it to be. So if you're noticing that you have a really, really busy day, all you have to do is find as little as 5 minutes to pause and just take some mindful breaths. And that's better than nothing, right? It doesn't really have to be that complicated. It's just finding some time throughout the day where you can just kind of just take some breaths and relax. The best time, in my opinion, would be to squeeze it first thing in the morning. Like right when you wake up, you can still even just be lying in bed. and just be awake and start to just do a couple minutes of meditation before getting out of bed. Or you can do it later on, like right before bed as well. Same idea, lying down in bed and just doing like a quick body scan, something like what I did, except really fast, like just kind of going through your head all the way to your toes, and just relaxing the body. And you'll notice even that alone can definitely impact your sleep, make it better, and at least you squeeze it in. Another tip that I will say as well is to plan your day the night before. So if you know that you're going to have a busy day or a busy week, just get in the habit of planning your day the night before of when you think is best to squeeze in some meditation time, and that can make a really big difference.
Awesome. Dr. Carrier, we have a question from the audience here today. What's your recommendation for how early should we stop using our phone before we go to sleep?
Oh, at least an hour before, for plenty of reasons. The first reason is for the excitement, because, for instance, especially in this time, I mean, to read the news, to read about COVID-19, etc., before the hour before your sleep, you should really take a time that will disconnect you from your waking life up to your dream life, I would say. And so that's one of the reasons. The second reason for not using your phone is also because of the light. You remember I said earlier, bright up your life, increase the light intensity in your room, in your apartment, in your house during the day. But if you do that, or you receive too much light just prior to sleep, actually, it will have two effects. It will increase your vigilance. I said already that light was increasing mood and vigilance, so you will feel less sleepy. It's like a little bit like taking a coffee prior to going to bed. And the second reason is that it will also change the timing of your biological clock. So I always say that to the young population a lot, actually, because they already have a tendency to go to bed late and to wake up later. And this light just prior to sleep will push their biological clock to go even later. So that's the two reasons. So at least 1 hour, and please take all electronic device out of the bedroom. Because that's another thing. Some people sleep with their phone close to their bed, and then they hear the notification, and that makes your brain always connected, like if it never disconnect. And the sleep is very important. There are some very important things going on in your brain while you sleep. In order for your sleep to do its job, it needs to be disconnected from the environment.
Golly, absolutely. That's going to be a harder message for each generation as we come.
I know, and I'm trying to convince you.
I'm going to give it a try tonight, and I'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Gabby, Ruth from Toronto writes, how do I know if I'm meditating the right way?
Well, the great thing about meditation is that you can't do it wrong. I would say, like, don't be so caught up in doing it right, because that is when you can cause unnecessary stress, right? And that alone is what's going to defeat the purpose on your meditation in the first place, right? You're not going to be able to get the benefits of relaxation if you're stressing, if you're doing it right or wrong. If you are just taking a time to pause and just be kind of mindful of the present moment and breathe, then you're meditating, and you can just leave it as that. So as far as knowing when your meditation is working, you definitely won't notice any flashing lights or like sudden jolts of energy. Instead, you may recognize like subtler shifts, like sleeping better is a big one at night, or feeling less anxious throughout the day. So here at Amica, for example, like I make sure to, when we're doing our meditation, like we do it consistently, which can kind of instill those habits. And I always emphasize with the residents here to not look for results. We just trust in the process and just let the changes take care of themselves.
Awesome, wonderful, thank you. And thank you to everyone watching today. We have another question from the crowd. Dr. Carrier, what are your thoughts on melatonin for a sleep aid?
So that's a very good question also. So melatonin is, and I know that I say it with a French accent, but melatonin is a natural hormone. Yeah, it's a hormone that is naturally secreted during the nighttime. It's also called the darkness hormone because it's secreted during the nighttime, and it will stop secreted if you turn on the light, for instance. And people rapidly notice that if you take melatonin, so in many provinces they are in like sold with the health food products, that you may decrease your latency to go to sleep. So you may feel sleepy earlier, and you may fall asleep more rapidly. But you need one before, even if you use it, even if you can find it quite easy on the shelves, you should discuss with your healthcare provider before you take it, because it still may interact with some of your medications. So always discuss it with your doctor before. And be careful also, because even though it may make you sleep easier, it may also wake you up earlier. So if you take it every night before you go to bed, you may shift your biological signal to sleep. So you will go to bed a little bit earlier, but you may also wake up a little bit earlier. So for some, it works, and it works well. So if it works for you and you discuss it with your healthcare providers, it could be a good alternative.
Awesome. Well, like I said before, it's such a privilege for all of us to be learning from folks who are so passionate. I know I learned a lot. How about you, Melanie?
You have learned a lot. Such great information. Thank you, Dr. Carrier and Gabriella. We really just can't thank you enough for joining us and providing suggestions to help us all sleep better and reduce our stress. If any of our attendees has further questions or needs assistance, please get in touch with your local AMICA representative. We will guide you to the resources that can help. Our next virtual event will be on Thursday, June the 18th, the ABCDs of Cognitive Wellness. It's our very own Dr. Heather Palmer, who is going to be back by popular demand. We thank everyone who joined us this evening, and today we encourage you to learn more about other upcoming virtual events by contacting an AMICA team member in your city or by visiting our website, amica.ca. AMICA also is producing a segment featuring positivity and creativity from across our wonderful residences. It's called The Bright Spot, and I'm happy to share a bright spot with you now as we end our session today. Until next time, stay home, stay safe, stay connected, and sweet dreams.
Hey everybody. Okay, so first the obvious. Could it be that summer has just suddenly descended on us, just like that, with no spring warning whatsoever? My goodness, that sun feels so good after a long, cold winter. Anyway, this week at AMICA, we celebrated our resident care partners. We've got tons of great thank you content, plus more birthdays, more dancing, more ice cream, yes, and all the love from across our AMICA residences. Let's check it out. much for joining me again on The Bright Spot this week, you guys. I'll be back next Wednesday, but in the meantime, get outside, enjoy that sun. Don't forget your social distancing, and don't forget your sunscreen. I'll see you soon.